How many of you are as tired of winter as I am? It's the perfect time to think warm, with some of the spring and summer releases from Macmillan Publishing. Award-winning author Sharon Bolton brings us Little Black Lies, set in a small community in the Falkland Islands. When a child goes missing, 3 people confess to the crime. Only one can be the killer. Jane Casey brings back Detective Maeve Kerrigan in The Kill. While at a wedding reception, she's called back to London. A fellow policeman was murdered in a compromising position in a public park at night. And the victim's family seems to have something to hide. Thin Air is the latest Shetland Island mystery by Anne Cleeves. A group of old university friends leave London and travel to Shetland to celebrate a friend's marriage. But one of them disappears, apparently into thin air. When her body is found, and stories say she claimed to have seen the ghost of a local child, detectives Jimmy Perez and Willow Reeves investigate, suspecting there's more to her death than they first thought. Head Case, My Brain and Other Wonders, is Cole Cohen's memoir about her struggle with a series of learning disabilities and her life after doctors discover a hole in her brain. Janine Capo-Cruset's novel, Make Your Home Among Strangers, follows the first-generation Cuban-American accepted into an elite college just as her home life in Miami unravels. Hannah Dennison's first Honeychurch Hall mystery was called Downton Abbey Meets Midsummer Murders by mystery author Marcia Talley. Amateur sleuth Kat Stanford returns in Deadly Desires at Honeychurch Hall. Suspicion falls on the residents of the English Manor House when a body is found on the grounds. Born to be Wild is Carolyn Haynes' latest entry in the Southern Mystery series featuring Sarah Booth Delaney. A broken-hearted Sarah Booth welcomes the appearance of an old flame, whose blues band is performing at the Black and Orange Halloween Ball. But when the band is threatened, and the threat turns to reality, Sarah Booth races to stop a killer from striking again. Ex-Special Forces Op Sam Dryden is back in Patrick Lee's explosive new novel, Signal. Dryden battles the deadliest enemies he's ever faced as he tries to help an old friend who's in trouble. Michael Logan brings readers the sequel to Apocalypse Cow, World War Moo. Britain's cows have turned into a zombie herd, and the epidemic threatens to take over the globe. With all of Great Britain infected and hungry, the rest of the world has to decide if they'll wipe the Brits right off the map or race against time to try to find a cure. Reeve LeClaire is finally making a life for herself after 4 years as Darrell Wayne Flint's captive. But when her kidnapper escapes from a psychiatric hospital, she soon realizes she's the only one who can stop him. It's Carla Norton's thriller, What Doesn't Kill Her. Moving from thriller to cozy, the next book is Cynthia Riggs' Poison Ivy, featuring 92-year-old poet and sleuth Victoria Trumbull. On her first day as an adjunct professor at Ivy Green College, Victoria finds a body in her classroom. As the bodies pile up on campus, Victoria hunts a serial killer and tries to save the college. In Karen Salvaggio's Burnt River, Detective Macy Greeley is called to a small Montana town to investigate the murder of a veteran who recently returned home from Afghanistan. Macy must navigate small-town politics and the secrets of the victim's family while she looks for the killer. We go from zombie cows to a rabies-like disease carried only by blonde women in Emily Schultz's The Blondes. Blonde women are terrorizing New York City with random but deadly attacks. It's soon clear that a strange illness is transforming blondes into rabid killers. Chevy Stevens' thriller, Those Girls, introduces 3 sisters Danny, Courtney, and Jess Campbell. They dreamt of the day their alcoholic father would disappear. When their wish comes true, they're forced to assume new identities and forget the past. And then, 18 years later, Jess's teenage daughter starts to ask too many questions. All that followed is Gabriel Erz's debut novel. 5 years after a young local politician was kidnapped and murdered, the residents of a small town in Spain's northern Basque Country want answers. Everyone knows who pulled the trigger. But who's really to blame? The accounts of 3 townspeople hold the key to the crime. Sarah Vaughan's debut novel, The Art of Baking Blind, has my favorite cover this month. In 1966, Kathleen Eden, cookbook writer and wife of a supermarket owner, published The Art of Baking. Now, 5 amateur bakers are competing to become the new Mrs. Eden. Their discovery? The recipe for happiness may not be easy to follow. Thanks to Macmillan Publishers for a glimpse at spring and summer titles. Hopefully, the season for new books is just around the corner. And for Talia and Anne, no jinx, but Nikki showed up, and Josh is always there for a cuddle.